guys, welcome back to Marsha Speaks. This is Marsha. So what I was going to do originally was give you guys a blow-by-blow of what happened in this week's episode of The 100, Season 7, Episode 13. But I decided I'm not going to do that because that's a lot and it already made my head hurt. We're not doing that. What we're doing instead is just like the highlights and some of the big things that I wanted to talk about so that we can discuss and, you know, share with friends and all that good stuff. So, the main thing that pisses me off, why are we not killing Malachi on sight? I don't know what type of covering he has that every single bad guy or people who really can kill him, who have the upper hand in this situation, never do. That doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying, storyline. Writers, what are we doing? But, okay. Bob, because I still want to disrespect the soul out of him, is coming into Sanctum, which is Malachi's territory, and Malachi thinks that he has the upper hand. And in 3 seconds flat, really, he shows him that, no, sir, you don't have anything unless I give it to you. And that is so disrespectful. On a side note, the way that Bob said, like, interacted with Malachi and was talking about tribalism and stuff like that, that was a little too close to the way racist people interact with minorities. So I was like, I don't like the way this is making me feel. But I do agree that Malachi is not the way to go, and I don't co-sign anything that he does. So any venom that goes toward him, I'm okay with. But it still sounded and felt way off. Okay, next we see Murphy and Maury and everybody kind of coming back together, and I loved how people were like really having faith in Murphy and believing that he would come through in the end and that he's basically their savior, which is very fascinating to me because at the beginning of the series everybody hated Murphy. So the whole 180 of his character and how they really treated his character well these last couple seasons, well, throughout the whole series really, but the way they treated his character this last season, beautiful. And same thing with the Maury and how the secondary character was able to really move forth into a primary role. That was great too. They wanted to hide the fact, and by they I mean Clark wants to hide the fact that Maddie has visions and she actually can probably know the code for the last war that they're all dying to find out, and how she doesn't want anybody to know. In the end, we find out that means nothing because, you know, people who lose their mind have no loyalties. But before we get there, the main chunk of the episode, and I'm jumping around, but I'm just thinking like the main chunk of the episode that really brought me joy and satisfaction was Indra. And how she was finally able to, you know, reconcile her feelings with Malachi and stuff. And you really did get to see some of her own backstory. I think it would be kind of cool if they delved a little bit more into that in the prequel. But that'll be a way long, like 4 or 5 seasons later to do that. Well, with the Stones, you really don't have to wait that long to get Indra's backstory. But we got to meet Indra's mom, see how much Indra's, like the storyline of her hate towards Malachi and how that came about in a hallucination type of pathway, because again, the Red Sun is the main focal point of this episode. And I was like, okay, good job. I really wanted to see, I didn't even want to see it, but I think it's cool to see it this way. Indra's mom was really nice to, like, the character. I think she played her well. I still think the series needed another season to kind of delve more into these backstories before we were going to end them in the last 3 episodes, but whatever. The main thing with Malachi, he really thought that he could be like, oh, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I love how Indra, in her hallucination, because normally Indra would let him believe that, but in reality, no, the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy. I'm just gonna kill him first and then kill you. Like, that's what I thought. Because initially when Malachi was wounded and they were tied together, he thought that they could work together to kill Bob, but that's not what happened, like, at all. The fight scene with Indra was pretty cool. I liked it. And I just also like the fact that they finally realized that Gaia is not with either group, and where the heck is Gaia? So of course, like a despondent mother, she is trying to figure out like where her child is now. So I think what's been 4, maybe 5 episodes without Gaia. So I really want to know what's going on in the last 3 episodes. I love the fact that the scene with the dog and the 3 kids, one from, our Scooby Gang, one from the Cogs, and one from the followers, were able to show that there is hope and light in the future. Why people are incessant need that this last war is going to be the war that lets them be transcendent and into peace. I get it, because that is the basis of Christianity and Judaism. I think all the Abrahamic religions have that mindset too, but cults I don't agree with. About Jesus, yes. Cults, nah. What else? I think that the last 5 minutes of the show, I was like, wow, we really doing this? And she did. And I remember last episode, I was basically saying how there's nothing pretty much that Clark can do to make me like her. And this action did not change that. I still don't like her, but I respect her more as a mother, as a leader. She made the executive decision, okay, to shoot Bellamy, because Bellamy had the journal or the diary that Maddie had throughout this whole season, showing basically when she was drawing out all of the past memories. So Bellamy knows that Maddie has the memories to be able to put the code in. And she decides to kill him. She ran out of bullets to kill the rest of them, but she decides to kill him. I'm wondering, what was the purpose of trying to kill him though at the end when you didn't run and get the book? Because how's that? And we know 9 times out of 10, Bellamy will be saved by some type of technology. So I'm just wondering, do the other disciples know that this book is so important? Or did she kill all the disciples that knew about it before she left? But that phase between Bellamy dying and Clark, moving in through the anomaly, that was pretty cool, graphic design and stuff like that. And the last thing I really have to say is, I've always said, where the heck is Gaia? What's his name? Bob looked unbothered that he was going to this locked planet, and that's because 9 times out of 10 he has disciples there waiting to meet them. Because Bob, for the most part, knows what on site means. The character apparently doesn't, but okay. I think that's really all I have for this episode. This episode, I think that I'm kind of speechless at the end of the episode when Clark literally shot Bellamy and shot to kill, but I'm not shocked in the sense that this is what Clark does, this is literally what she does. So I'm not shocked, but I found it hilarious when Bellamy was trying to reason with her and was trying to connect with her emotions, was really trying to let her have her see the big picture. And I'm like, do you not know Clark? I thought you knew him. I thought you knew her. What did you think was gonna happen? Sir, when Clark makes a decision, she makes a decision. Right or wrong, she still makes it. You thought she was gonna switch up on you because, she gets emotional for a second, but as we consistently see with Clark, she gets emotional, gets in her feelings, but at the end of the day, she makes the decision that needed to be made. So, okay. I don't know what you thought you were doing. He really thought he had more pull over Clark than he actually did. What else happened in that episode? There's so many moving pieces, which is one of the reasons why I didn't want to do a blow by blow, because no, a lot. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was Gabriel. So Gabriel, is the first one to know that the red sun's effect was actually happening, because he saw what's that girl's name? His girlfriend, the one that was the demon child from last season. And I'm like, okay, let's call her Chelsea. He saw Chelsea. And I'm like, okay. But you could have from the beginning got the antitoxins to make sure that you don't see this chick. But instead, you let your thirst for knowledge in the form of Chelsea cause you to build a machine that would literally, if it was not what he did after, destroy humankind. For you switch up at the last second and decide, no, I'm not going to give Bob what he wants, and shoot him. And what was the point of you doing that throughout the whole episode? What was the point? Build up? That's stupid. What was the point? Storyline. Why? What was the point? I don't get it. Like, I get it, but it's stupid. And by what that I mean is, like, he was able to build a machine that would take the data, extrapolate the data from the broken pieces and stuff of the key with what they used before to put, snatch bodies out of people, snatch bodies out of people. So I'm just a little, and in the end, while Bob was seeing that machine actually was working, he comes to his senses at the last second, realizes that Chelsea is a demon. She a demon. So I clearly am not going to do what she says, because all the stuff that I've done for her has never been positive for the most part. So he finally decides to wake up and shoot the key or the flame, almost shot Bob, and in doing so caused the death of the next leader of the disciples, which was the friend of the conductor, the one I never got a name, Bellamy's converter, that one. So I'm like, okay, he didn't make it. They're trying to make us believe that Bellamy didn't make it. And I'm like, okay, so what was the point? Like, what? I don't get it. Like, this is 3 more episodes. So I did not watch the last, the promo for the next episode. My predictions, though, is that because we're moving forward and we still don't know what we're doing with this last war, I still am iffy if they're even gonna give an answer to what is the last war, what is the last war test. I think if anything, they're just gonna introduce us to who are the people that created the last war. So maybe that is what we would get instead as an answer for the series finale. So, and that would tie us back into the prequel and make people want to know more about the prequel, because that can help lead to answering the question of what is the last war. That is my predictions at the a tie-in for everything. But for distinctly next episode, I think that I really want, I know we don't have enough time, but I really want Clark to get separated from the group, because again, we don't know what is the time ratio between the 2 planets, the Lock planet and Sanctum. So it could be you taking so long, could be a couple decades, a couple months, a couple years. You could be going forward instead of going back. So we don't really know what's going on with that. So that is my prediction. I think that Gaia is gonna be in the next episode. I think that because she was one of the first ones there, she could help lead them and direct them to like culture or whatever with the newcomers at the end. So maybe the next one is gonna be a paradise, and that's his next attempt of trying to convert them into disciples. I don't know, but that's all I got for y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're on our way to 100 subscribers, so don't forget to share with your friends. And I am going to be reviewing, of course, the next episode, the 100, and we'll be doing a little commentary and spiel about everything, as in like what's going on with the world now. Thank you again for watching my video. I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Bye.